Trump's immunity decision should be coming out with the Supreme Court.
Do you know the Supreme Court right now? I've never in my life seen such a corrupt, full of shit Supreme Court with those 6 judges, five judges. Here's why. We've got one guy. We've got proven Alito and Thomas have taken gifts from billionaires repeatedly.
Bribes. Let's call them bribes.
Okay, all right. Let's be gifts. You're right. Bribes. Bribes. Didn't report them, and then said, "Well, we don't have any ethics levels." Really? The Supreme Court doesn't have any ethics rules. That seems odd.
When you sign up, when you apply
Satan
to be
doesn't
one,
have ethics rules. You guys are supposed to. Yeah, that's how that works.
They design the ethics.
You're in charge of the ethics.
They're the ethics on the ethics.
And you don't get any? That seems like bullshit. So now they have a problem because they're saying that so they want to vote for Trump, right? If you think the people that he put on the court, right? They'd be leaning towards Trump because he gave them the job.
I don't know. They voted against him several times in election stuff.
The problem is if they say he has immunity, Jack Smith's case is over.
If they say he has immunity, that means Biden can have him killed while he's still president.
Oh, there's an upside. All right, guys, we got the upside.
And we can just move it right along. Like, oh no, Biden, oopsie.
Yeah,
do whatever crime you want.
Biden had an opponent killed, but he has immunity. We're good.
Yeah.
They said it.
Hey, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. If I have immunity, I'm killing him. Not a joke. It's not a joke.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Finish him. I got to get some ice cream.
Come on, man. Come on, man. The thing that bothers me most about it is that they refuse to hear it on an expedited basis. So it's completely stalled Jack Smith's case. So we're getting closer and closer to an election. That's in November. Why aren't we expediting this?
But maybe that's all they can. Maybe. This is what I'm hoping. Maybe they know that they are so jammed up against the wall on presidential immunity. You can't steal top secret government documents and claim immunity. You can't. So maybe they're like, what can we do to help him? The best we can do is hold it off.
Yes, delay.
Also, the lower court shredded him. So people are saying, well, does them taking it up mean that they don't agree? And the general consensus right now is no, because there's no constitutional basis for this.
At all.
They need to weigh in because this is not going to go away. And he's trying immunity in all of his cases. So it could be good. But if they say presidential immunity is a thing, then
I love
Biden
the guy who was
can just have a
anti-vax
crack at
keeps
it.
bitching about immunity. It's really kind of fucked up. It's really kind of fucked up. Dude, you keep saying the word immunity now. You were talking about it before. You didn't believe in it. Now you believe in immunity? Seems weird. Seems weird.
The thing is with him, delay. And it works every time.
And I say this, and I'll say it again. If you knew you were innocent of the crimes they have accused you of, wouldn't you want to go to court today? Bring your evidence. I have my evidence. I am totally innocent. But this turd knows that he is 100% guilty, has been guilty his entire life. Nixon's DOJ brought him up on charges with his father. Nixon.
I don't even think he understands.
Nixon's a criminal. Nixon put him and his dad on trial.
He's been criming for so long. It's just the way he lives. He doesn't even know.
The justices that he put on the court, Amy Coney Barrett, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, they all have voted against him several times, specifically as it pertained to his 2020 election case, which they declined to even have before them. They just sent a letter that said "nerp," but they've ruled against him several times. So
did Clarence Thomas said it? Nerp.
Clarence Thomas never says nerp. That's his problem. He's always yerp.
Yeah.
He's yerp. He's no nerp.
Sir, would you like to go on a yacht trip?
Yerp.
Sir, would you like to go to our villa in the south of France?
Yerp.
Would you like these
RV?
Hitler statues?
Yerp.
Who wants a new RV? Yerp. He's by far the worst guy. And I remember I was a kid when that whole Anita Hill thing came up. And I remember my dad, who was very, 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 very like that with women. And he was classier than a pubic hair on a Coke can thing. But I remember my father going, this guy does not need to be on the Supreme Court. Like, at least my dad was sleazy, but he did it in a classy way. Can I be clear about that?
I mean,
that's not
he was sleazy with women in a classy way.
Classy sleazy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, he was classy.
I don't know about that.
He was being sleazy, but using class to be sleazy.
Coming from a woman, having heard things about your dad, I would argue.
Nerp.
Nerp. Especially like if a woman gained a pound and he called her fat.
That was a weird thing he did, and I saw him do it repeatedly.
It's not weird.
No. He would do it, but he would do it.
Do you hear how he compartmentalizes a little bit?
Yeah, it really reframes it.
Listen,
yeah, he really did.
Listen,
That was weird.
I have a room in my head of childhood trauma that will never be opened. It has been welded shut by a Chinese dissident. Sorry, the Chinese government has welded it shut, and it will never be opened up again. That trauma will die in that room, banging on the doors, screaming for help. But it will never be dealt with. Just know that.
We're
working on it. Yeah.
Were you done explaining away how your father told
So
women they were fat?
My dad, it was a weird deal. I think a lot of it had to do with drinking. And now that I'm 110 days not drinking, I will say this: there is a clarity. There's a clarity and a calm and a lack of anxiety that I have. That's crazy. Like and I know who I am. Confident. It's really interesting. So, but my dad would be the smoothest, most loving, caring, complimentary, got your back to these women, and then they'd move in, and within 6 months,
Once they were trapped.
once they were in the house and they had nowhere to go, he would go, "The shit did you cook tonight?" And I remember, that's why I eat so fast. Yeah. And then he would go like, "You gained like 7 pounds. Why don't you get on a treadmill? Why don't you go running?" And he would come home drunk and angry. And I don't know what that
How
was
did he
about.
gauge the weight though? Maybe like
Dude,
calibrate
I don't
eyes?
know.
I don't understand.
I know that's what I was. I was like, I'm a kid. She looks exactly the same as she's been looking since you met her. And
Built-in scale on the floor? How did
he
he?
would just be a dick. And I never
This
understood.
is the guy with the little chicken legs and the big beer belly.
I never
And
understood.
smelling socks.
Yeah,
he was smelling their socks
I never
to gauge their weight.
and
Aha.
smelling socks.
I forgot
right.
about that. We have to explain that. My father
We did
this.
last week.
Oh, we cleared it up. Okay. For people that were listening to my father used to see if he was sick or not. He'd come home, take his shoes off, take his socks off, and he'd smell his socks and see if he was sick. And I was like, what? I never understood. I go, why do you do that? And he goes, I don't see if I'm sick or not. He told me that. I'm like, that's the weirdest shit.
Never heard any doctor ever. Let me see if
Why do you think I know? What do you think would have clued me in that someone else smelled their socks?
I don't smell my socks. I
Poochie.
do not.
No.
This is you.
We need evidence. Get the evidence. You'll have it. It's on your phone somewhere.
All right. All right. If you can film me doing it, you can put it on
Just
my
the
Instagram.
back of your head, and you're like, what?
Yours is not.
I've got cancer. My liver's failing. I
gotta stop
drinking.
That would be crazy if it worked. I'd be like,
I got Parkinson's.
I'm sorry.
His socks are shaking. Is that what you did? You're good.
She did it instantly.
He goes, you did it? Good. Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a sketch. Come on, we'll cut this.
Just
sketch.
weird witchy ways where people
to
figure if they were
discover their
sick or not.
sickness, yeah.
It is a witchy way. It is that. Some of them work. I think I've told you guys, grandma always, for Charlie horses in your legs, like if you wake up in the middle of the night with calf Charlie horses, she would always say, put a bar of ivory soap in the foot of the bed. And when she passed away and we were cleaning off her bed and folding, broke my heart. A wrapped piece of ivory soap fell out onto the floor because she had it.
Oh, wow.
But she swore by it. And so I tried it when I was having them and didn't have them. So I don't know.
This ad brought to you by Placebo.
What?
It's one of those things where when I would be sick and we'd go on the road and people that are listening right now are going, it works. They would tell me to put Vicks on the bottom of my feet.
And then put socks on.
And then go to sleep. And that works. And I've heard that all over.
I can see that one though, because of the sensation of the chilling.
No, that's no.
Icy hot.
No,
like icy
that's
hot,
not
right?
for my Charlie horses. That's to get rid of a cold or a flu. Yes.
Through the feet.
Yes.
Well,
you know that
you
there are a lot. There's a lot of.
See, it all connects. See, you see how all this comes together.
There's a lot of Chinese medicine. The idea that everything goes through your feet, and that you can buy those pads that actually pull toxins out of your feet.
That is so. I read a thing about this because I was like, "What is that?" It's not. Basically, what happens is there is an oxidation effect. Those pads have a chemical on them that sweat reacts to, and it turns black because of an oxidation.
Not
effect.
according to your father.
So it's fake.
Mine diddling. like a Spider-Man comic book would come off of it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Look at it.
Look at
It's Bazooka Joe.
It's Funky Winkerbean.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah,
We're old. Wow, we're old as shit.
What's that?
Exactly. Hagar the Horrible.
Oh, I remember that vaguely.
Yeah.
He was like a big
Portly
man
fella?
in a
Viking.
loincloth.
Yes. Yeah.
Or
With the
that.
horn.
Big man in a loincloth. I think you're thinking of Jesus.
No, I remember. He had a thing.
Did you see that?
He walked around
Like
with
a club? No, an axe. I think it was an axe.
spear?
There's a lot of people
It was
amalgamation.
a stick with a stone wrapped on it.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, it was like a big
Um,
hammer.
Can I say something like
Oh,
that?
actually, it was a shield.